Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class we had finished with the sample paper which was launched by CBSE. Now today we will continue with the practice of the multiple choice question, and today we will going to see the another sample paper and more questions you will attempt. That will be much better to understand, especially in the term first. So let us start. So again, here it is section A, which consisting of 24 questions, and we have to attempt any 20 question. Remember that the first 20 attempt question would be evaluated. So you must select the 20 questions in which you are very sure with the answers, so that you can get the solid marks. Now let us start with the section A. So the first question is, which of the following is not a chemical change? Out of these, chemical change is there. It means chemical changes are given in the option. We have to select that which one is not a chemical change. So see, first one, it is getting salt from seawater. Second one, ripening of fruits and vegetables. Third one, formation of curd from milk. Fourth one, burning of coal. So you can see here that ripening of fruit and vegetable, that is a chemical change, is a chemical reaction. It is an irreversible reaction which cannot be reversed back. Second one, formation of curd from milk. Yes, that is also what's the reaction which is an irreversible reaction and is a chemical change only. And burning of coal is obviously it is a chemical reaction in which the carbon reacts with the oxygen and forms the carbon dioxide. But in case of first one, that is a reversible reaction and it is a physical change rather than chemical change. So getting salt from seawater, it is not a chemical change but a physical change. Now see here. Hydrogen chloride gas is prepared by the reaction between substances labeled A and B in the figure below. So here hydrogen chloride gas is preparing. It is prepared with the help of the reaction of the substances. The reactant are given here, which is labeled at A and B. And on a humid day, the gas is usually passed through a guard tube containing C. Okay, so a humid day, this gas which is actually evolving, it is passed through a guard tube, and that which is containing that of C substance. So we have to identify the substance A, B and C and select the row containing the correct labeling of the substances A, B and C. Now let us see here. In case of A, you can see that we are dropping something with the help of a dropper, and in case of B in the test tube, you will say that already a mixture was already a mixture was there. Okay, and so what we are doing, when we will make it cover, and yes, okay, so what happened here, due to this, uh, with the help of a pair of a tongue and a cork, the thing which is released through it will be taken into the litmus paper, moist litmus paper, and this guard tube which is containing the substance, that is C, it is kept in a guard tube. Now see here, the first one, A, is what? It is the sulfuric acid. You can see here the options are given: sulfuric acid, Yes, it is the sulfuric acid. We know that the sulfuric acid, when react with the that of the sodium chloride, then there is a formation of a sodium sulfate, which is a salt, and again hydrochloric acid is released. Now this hydrochloric acid, to dry, actually this hydrochloric acid, it is not in the aqueous form, but it is a gas only. So the gas which is evolving here, it is dry hydrochloric acid. So this dry hydrochloric acid will be detected to that of the litmus paper, a wet litmus paper, moist litmus paper, which turns the blue moist litmus paper into the red. Okay. So pair of a tongue we have used in order to hold it. So when the sulfuric acid react with that of the sodium chloride. So the first one, A, that is the dropper one, it is actually the sulfuric acid. And it will react with the sodium chloride. So B is what? That is sodium chloride. And when this reaction happened on a humid day, we used to keep the gas which is passed through the guard tube to that of the calcium chloride. And the reason is the calcium chloride will dry the gas by absorbing the moisture through it. Okay. So answer here, it will be A will be H2SO4, B will be sodium chloride, and C will be calcium chloride. Okay. So answer is A, sulfuric acid, sodium chloride and calcium chloride. Now see here, an element X having atomic number 13 forms a compound with element Y having atomic number 9. The cation and anion will be. So element X, which is having an atomic number of 13, forms a compound with element Y having the atomic number 9 here. Now you can see that is in this case atomic number is 13. So at the outermost shell, in case of a X, it will have 3 valence electron. In case of a Y, atomic number is 9. So at the outermost shell, it is 7 electrons. In the outermost shell, it will be. So in the outermost shell, it is having 3 valence electron in it, and in case of a Y, it is having 7 valence electron in it. How does it came, student? We can take the electronic configuration of it. So if it is 13, it will be 2, 8, 3, and if it will be 9, it will be 2 and 7. Okay. So by this we can conclude that outermost shell is 7 and here it is 3. Now what you will find that since it consisting of a 3 valence electron in it, so it will loses the electron and it will become 3 positive. While in case of a 9, if it will be 7 outermost electrons are present there, so again it will going to react with the 3 more if it want to combine with that of the element which is having the atomic number 9. So it must need 3 more, the Y must need 3 more or Y element in order to react with this X. So answer, it will be X 3 positive and Y 3Y negative. Okay. So X 3 positive and 3Y negative will be the answer here. Now let us move to the next one. Now see here, it is given that The table below lists some metals in column 1 and the color of coating or powder on their surface due to corrosion on them in column 2nd. So, you can see here that first is the metal, the different kind of a metal, and next one is the color, the coating which is formed over that of the metal on the surface and because of the corrosion on them. So, column first is iron. So, what kind of a color will be there, iron, students? We know that in case of iron, the color of the iron, it will be so you know that when the corrosion occur in that of the iron, student, iron will form a reddish brown coating over it, and that we called as a rust. So, here the first one, it will be with the rust. With the reddish brown color. Aluminium, we know that the aluminium oxide will be formed, and aluminium oxide will form by reacting with the oxygen, and ultimately there is a formation of an oxide layer which is of a white color is formed over it. Then copper, we know that how copper, so copper hydroxide, it will react with the moist air which include the carbon dioxide with it. So, copper will going to form a greenish coating. A greenish coating will be formed over it. So, it will be with the green. While the silver, we know that it will react with the hydrogen sulfide to form the silver sulfide, and thus silver will form a black coating over it. Okay. So, this is what this is how the metal and the color is formed. So, according to that, which one will be the correct option? So, you can see here first D, that is correct, second C, that is the wrong one, then second one first A, that is again wrong, and C first B, that is again wrong. In D, first D, that is correct, second A, that is also correct, third B, this is also correct, and fourth C. Okay. So, the correct option, it will be D. Now, see here, baking soda, the common name baking soda, we use it for sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate decahydrate, calcium oxychloride. So, it will be sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3, that is why it is called as sodium hydrogen carbonate, and we also called it as baking soda. Study the figure below showing the reaction between manganese dioxide and aluminium. Select the row containing the correct process marked A and B and the substances undergoing the changes from the table below. See here, rows are given, student, the correct process, and we have to find out that when will the oxidation happen or the reduction, and also the substance which get oxidized or which get reduced. So, the first one, see here, if we talk about A, in case of A, actually manganese dioxide is, there is a removal of oxygen happen here. So, it will be what? It will be reduction. And B, since the aluminium is adding oxygen, so obviously it will be oxidation. So, the other first two options are incorrect because there in both of the cases A was written as oxidation and B was written as reduction. So, that will be the incorrect option. Now, let us move and see the C and D only, where A and B is correct. Now, the substance which get oxidized or the substance which get reduced, So here it will be the substance which get oxidized, it will be aluminium. Okay, aluminium will get oxidized to aluminium oxide, and the substance which get reduced, here talking about the reducing agent or oxidizing agent. So the substance which get reduced is what? It is manganese dioxide. Okay, so according to that, the correct option, it will be C. So here aluminium get oxidized and manganese dioxide get reduced. Now see, two gases G having suffocating odor. Now see here, two gases G, they are having the suffocating odor and are obtained when a green solid S is heated along with the residue R. These gases are major air pollutant. When the vapor of gases are collected and dissolved in water, the solution turns blue litmus to red. The color of the residue becomes red. What would be S, R and G? Now, there are two gases are given here, students, and these two gases are what? They are obtained when a green solid is heated along with the residue R. Okay, so these gases are major air pollutant, and when the vapor of the gases are collected and dissolved in water, the solution turns blue litmus to red. The color of the residue becomes red. What would be SRG? Now see here. First of all, what are the things which is given here? So green solid S is given. This is the first hint. The second one, two gases are there, students, which is actually released by the decomposition of S. That's why it is written that when we heat it. And these gases are major air pollutant, and when we will dissolve it into the water, it will going to make the blue litmus to red. It means that is acidic in nature. So the thing which is formed here, it will be a non-metallic oxide. Now let us see here. See, PbNO2, PbO2 gives NO2 and N2O4. That is the wrong one. FeSO4, yes, it is a green solid. FeO2, O3, H2O and H2O2. No, it will not going to produce the water vapor. Otherwise, it will not going to give the blue litmus to red. Then FeSO4, again it is green in color. Fe2O3 is formed. SO2 and SO3 is formed. Yes, this is the correct one, because when we heat the FeSO4, ferrous sulfate is what? It is green in color. So when we heat it, two reddish brown color gases will evolve through it. That is sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide will be formed here. Right? And a residue, that is R, Fe2O3, which is a reddish residue, will be left behind. So, and obviously when we take this sulfur dioxide and mixes with water, then it will become sulfurous acid, and these two are the major pollutant, students, because they causes the acid rain as well as they are highly suffocating, okay, when inhaled by a person. So they are the major air pollutant, and when we mix water to the sulfur dioxide, it will get converted to sulfurous acid, that is H2SO4, and this H2SO3, and which turns the blue litmus to red. Okay, so this is because of that these two gases. The answer, it will be C. Answer will be C. Now let us move on and see the next question. Which of the following equation represent the chlor-alkali process? NaCl plus H2O, this will give NaOH plus Cl2 plus H2. What is a chlor-alkali process? Chlor-alkali process is that process in which with the help of the alkali is produced as well as chlorine is produced. Here one more gas is present, that is hydrogen. Okay, many times this question is asked that which one will going to released in which one electrode. So the correct option is the A itself. Let us see the other one also. Sodium chloride react with the water to form sodium hydroxide plus chlorine plus H2. In this one, students, this is yes, we can say that. I think the second one and the first one are similar. It is not balanced. The second one is not balanced. Third one is also not balanced properly, and fourth one is also not balanced. So reaction is same, but since it is not balanced properly, that's why we will going to take the first option. Now, when a few drop of phenolphthalein is added to a solution which is having pH 10.5, then the color. So few drop of phenolphthalein when added, it will having the pH 10.5. Then the color, it changes. See, if it is pH, it is 10.5, then the color changes to pink. And the reason is that why it changes to pink, because 10.5 is more than 7. So obviously the solution which we have taken, it is a basic solution. And we know that phenolphthalein changes the color to pink in a basic solution only. So the answer, it will be changes to pink. Photosynthesis is considered an endothermic reaction, exothermic reaction, physical reaction, endothermic and physical reaction. So photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction, because we know that we used to provide heat to it. Sunlight is taken there. So it is an endothermic reaction, the first one. Now, a plot of various abiotic factors affecting the rate of transpiration is given below. Humidity, light, wind and temperature. So after analyzing the graph, a student write the following statement. The rate of transpiration increases with increase in light intensity, wind speed and humidity. Rate of transpiration decreases linearly with increase in light intensity, temperature and humidity. Rate of transpiration decreases with increase in humidity, and rate of transpiration increases with increase in light intensity, temperature and humidity. Choose the following, which one would be the correct. So here it is given that only first, rate of transpiration increases with increasing light intensity, wind speed and humidity. No, that is the wrong one. Second one, the rate of a transpiration decreases linearly with increase in light intensity, temperature and humidity. That is also a wrong one. Rate of transpiration decreases with increase in humidity. Yes, this is the correct one, students. And rate of transpiration increases with increase in light temperature and humidity. So you can see here that light, temperature and wind, when increases, then the transpiration increases, but with a decrease of humidity. So If the answer will be if here, if you have to choose the correct option, so correct option will be the third one, where the rate of a transpiration decreases with the increase in humidity. Okay.